Meanwhile, let's go.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the United Stand. Welcome to the Flex and Rants show. Rants, what are you saying?
Bro,
It's gonna be a
my
long
head's
show.
hot, bro.
It's gonna be a long show. It's gonna be a long show. Looks like you support France now.
Yeah,
And
I support
Brazil.
Pogba, bro. That's what it is. I support Paul Pogba.
I support old school R9 because
mad.
current football's just doing our heads in. There's been a lot going on, a lot of opinions, man. We didn't get to hear from you straight away after the game, so I know you got a lot to say as well. Just in the context of how I want to start this show, let's jump straight into the deep end, man. I mean, some people after yesterday's performance were saying, nah, Ollie's not the guy. I don't think he's going to change it round. Equally, and when I say equally, I mean equally, some other fans were saying, nah, trust the process, man. Like, you got to get behind it. And when I say some other fans, Rio Ferdinand, for one. Where do you stand on... I'm not asking if you're Solskjaer in or Solskjaer out, because I don't think that's helpful right now. Yeah. I want to ask fans how they're feeling now. So how are you feeling with what you're seeing?
Well, it's mad because Ollie out was trending during the game. And my thing is, like, people are saying trust the process and all that. Some people are saying, no, it's only been 6 games. No, it hasn't. If you look at man's record in the last 20 games, 20-odd games, it's almost a whole season's worth of games. Do you see what I mean? So it's not 6 games where people are saying Ollie out from. So
first 19 games, 14 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. Second 19 games, 5
and
wins.
19 and 19 is 38, bruv. That's a whole Premier League season's worth of games.
5 wins, 4 draws,
is
10,
it not?
10 losses.
That's a whole Premier League season worth of games. So it's not 6 games where people are saying Ollie out. It's over the course of a whole season people are saying that. So when people are trying to invalidate certain people's opinions based on that, saying it's only 6, it's not only 6 games, innit? Like, certain men have seen enough, I get that. Like, my issue with this whole situation is when people are saying, oh, what would you do or how do you feel? Like, that's some of the worst I've seen from Manchester United. That took me right back to the Mourinho days. Remember when we went there and we watched us lose 3-1? And what happened in that game? Mourinho set up with, I think, 5 DMs on the pitch or something.
I remember McTominay was playing just in front.
And then
Martial.
Herrera played as well, Matic played as well.
And Martial was like isolated
well.
up front, and after the game he was like, Martial didn't do
And then Ollie's gone to West Ham away, and it looks like he's gone there for a draw, bruv. There was no attacking intent, there was no nothing. And remember, Ollie was talking about the United way and how he's going to go for youth and all of that. And remember what I said at the beginning of the season? I said, as long as Ollie keeps this same energy that he's talking about young players, fresh players, giving Mason a go, giving all these players a go, I'll be 100% behind him, bruv. And guess what happened? As soon as the wheels started wobbling a bit, Matic and Fellaini, Matic and Mata come straight back into the team, bro. And I knew he was gonna do that. Like, it shows that his bum's gone already. Like, and like the pressure's getting to him because he's not sticking to his guns. I always said it. If he stuck to his guns and he said, you know what, we want to get rid of the players that don't want to be here, and instead of that, I'm just gonna play the youth. If Ollie went into every game and said, you know what, these men are not good enough, I'm going to play McTominay, I'm going to play, if you're going to play Pereira, play Pereira. I'm going to play Gomez, I'm going to play Chong, I'm going to play Greenwood. I don't think that fans would be getting that pissed, because if you put out a team with them young men in there and they lose to West Ham 2-0, it's not an issue. The issue is you're bringing in Matic, the guy who you gave the captain's armband the game before that's been openly disrespecting you, and you still gave him the armband. That shows me that's a sign of weakness there, and you're just trying to appease someone that clearly doesn't want to be there anyway and doesn't really respect you. So that's a big no-no for me. You got Fred, who can't get a game, but then you're taking off Matic for Fred anyway, so why not just start him?
And he's played better than him over the last 2 games.
And he's played better than him over the last few games. That don't make no sense to me.
He had to take Fred Matic off against Leicester.
Yeah, because he was getting overrun.
And Fred come on had a positive impact.
But then Fred can't get a game. You keep starting at Andreas on the right-hand side. You know we can't play there. And then the worst thing is, man are starting him out there, they're moving him on the inside. So why not just start him on the inside? Like, there's too many questionable things, away from all the other things that people are looking at Ollie for. So it's not as easy as a Ollie in and an Ollie out situation, bruv, because actually there's a difference between asking me, like, would you get rid of Ollie now, or what would you do if you had complete control of the club?
What would you do?
I'd get rid of everyone. That's what I'd get rid of. I'd change the owners. I'd have a completely different setup at board level, and I'd get rid of all the coaches and the manager too, bro. Like, all of this ex-Manchester United, this shit needs to die, bro. Like, even with the whole everything, and Evra's like, oh, let us know if you need help and that. Bro, you're doing your coaching badges right now. How are you going to help, man? Like, realistically, like, take the sentiment and the emotion and the passion for the club. What do you know that's really going to help us? Nothing, bro. Like, the only thing Evra can do right now is keep Paul Pogba happy, bro. Like, that's it. That's all you can do for us right now. And like, this is me coming from a completely unemotional and just a logical place. I think that too much emotion has gone into the whole Ollie thing. Do you see what I'm saying? Because on paper, he has no right to be anywhere near the hot seat at Manchester United. People doing ridiculous things, like comparing, like, oh, when Ferguson came in, United didn't start well. What, do you know what Ferguson won with Aberdeen, bro? Do you see what I mean? Like, this guy, he was a serious guy before United come in for him, you know? Man beating Real Madrid and them thing there.
So
let's be real. And then Rio done the Klopp thing, saying, oh, well, Klopp did in his first season. Klopp won 2 Bundesligas. Do you know what I mean? Got to Champions League finals and them thing there before Liverpool brought him in. Klopp weren't no novice. We've got a manager that's been coaching professionally for over a decade and still don't even have a style of play or a philosophy to fall back on to say, yo, like, this is what I'm trying to implement. So when people say, yo, let's trust the process, what is the process? Because we still don't have a director of football. I don't know who's in charge of our recruitment, like, or who's doing what. We don't know whose fault it is when man don't come. We don't know anything. Players are being allowed to leave. They're not being replaced. So when they're saying trust the process, what's the process? Because if the process is Ollie's going to coach his way into making United a force again, it's not going to happen. Because there's nowhere previously in his career that's told me that, yo, we can build up a player and take them to a next level. Rashford has not improved since Louis van Gaal's left. He's been the only manager I've seen, post-Ferguson, who's got a proven track record of developing players, developing them. And Rashford ain't developed. And if Rashford's under Ollie for another 3 years, he ain't going to develop anymore. And if Rashford's 25 and this is his level, he's done out here, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. I see what you're saying. On the other side of the fence, yeah, before the season started, we all pretty much said, or when I say we all, a lot of United fans said that Ollie's going to need 2 to 3 transfer windows. Yeah. We all blamed the board. Yeah. As soon as the transfer window shut, Ollie's effed with this team. Yeah. What's he going to be able to do? He's going to be top 6 at best. Yeah. At best. And after six or so games, we're a couple of points. I can't even check the table, but we're like, what, level on points with.
It doesn't matter at this stage. Right. It's too early.
Anyway, exactly. There you go. It's very early. I feel as if, like, well, we all kind of sat there and kind of made up our minds before a ball was kicked and expected these things to happen. Yeah. Now it's happening. Some people are Ollie out.
Do you know why I understand it, Flex? Because I said to you, if Ollie keeps the same energy, I'm going to keep the same energy. Ollie come out with all this nonsense, bruv. Ollie talks too much. This is the problem. When Ollie says, oh, all these men that want to come here, you didn't need to say that. And then after the window shut, you're like, yeah, talking up Mason, all of these things, and you're playing him right wing, talking about building the team around Pogba, and you're playing him DM. Like, why are you talking? Why are you saying all these things, bro? Because all he does is he gets the fans' hope up here and makes us believe that he knows what he's doing. And then in game, it doesn't translate to that. So then certain people are starting to lose faith in man because they're saying, you know what, Ollie's just on this lip service thing. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's looking like he's moving like a politician. Like he's speaking like a fan and appeasing the fans. And that's why certain men are saying, yo, Ollie's a Glazer puppet. Because what they're saying is, Ollie's just saying what we want to hear to keep us sweet while them man are taking a piss out of us upstairs. And it doesn't look good for him, bro.
And you speak about the Glazers and the owners. That's where, like, more of my blame, and it's difficult because we spoke about this before, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I said, like, I feel like as United fans, and football fans in general, but obviously United fans for this, it's very difficult to place the blame in one area.
You can't.
That it almost changes by the day. 1 minute, when Ollie makes questionable tactical decisions and personnel changes, absolutely, we're like, that doesn't make sense. But then it gets to Thursday, and then the conversation is, the Glazers have given this guy no chance. He's had to clear out a bag of shit players from before, a bag of players who didn't want to be there. He's had to move them on to the point where even me and you spoke about the Sanchez thing where, all right, cool. It clearly looks like a bad decision to have let him go. But he didn't want to be there. And didn't replace him, absolutely. Yeah. And Lukaku. But it got to a point, whether it's right or wrong, I'm just putting it out there as the fact, that Ollie's actually sat down with him and he's gone, either Sanchez has gone, I don't want to play here anymore. That's exactly
what happened.
So Ollie's gone, all right, cool. Even if I can't replace you, I'm still happy to just let the pressure come all on me when we're thin after a couple of injuries. But what I'm saying is,
I'm calm with that, but then play Mason fans, then.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like the blame can't be in one place. And it's interesting you brought in the owners there, Rants. You brought in the owners because, let's face it, Ed Woodward took over when Sir Alex left, right? And he's employed 4 managers now?
Yeah.
4 managers.
He has to take
and
the
it's
blame.
gone wrong. Exactly. At what point do you can't just blame the players who are not good enough to be there. Even what Keane was saying, he's like,
it's
to
not
be
their
honest,
fault that they're there.
These lot could actually run around like blue-ass fires and try. I don't think these players aren't trying for Ollie as well, because that's the different thing. Because under Mourinho, even Van Gaal, people were saying down tools. People were saying these men aren't even trying to run for the badge. Now it's a case of, it doesn't matter how much Matic runs. It doesn't matter how much Pereira tries on the right. It doesn't matter how much McTominay tries to impose himself. That's not their game. They're not good enough. It doesn't matter how much Ashley Young really tries his hardest. They're not up to speed. So now we're in a position where Ollie's had to shift that out, but that's come from above. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's had to rectify 3 other managers' bad recruitment or the board as well.
Bro,
it's all combination into one. So that's why
above.
I feel uncomfortable. Look, the buck stops at the manager on match days, and I get it. If results don't go your way,
but it's a lot deeper than that.
It's a lot deeper than that. And for me, even in the podcast as well, Mark said to me at the time, this was before we played Leicester, what would it take, for you to like be Ollie out, or what would it take for you to have a real? And I said, look, for me, if he gets top 6 with this team, which he should, it's not an achievement, I'm just saying, and we go from there, I'll take that as a basis. I've seen the 3 players that he's brought in, that they look like our 3 only half decent players. So you're seeing something there. I'm not saying they're amazing and they're polished. We're seeing something. I can see some form of thinking. I can see some form of thinking in terms of, I know it's gone to shit now because it does worry me, and I'll touch that in a sec. I see some sort of thinking of going, do you know what? No Ashley Young. I know we don't have the depth, so now he's playing now because of injury. No Luke, Phil Jones. He's there making comments, and we'll talk about that in a second, which shows everything that's wrong right now. Smalling's gone. You could argue that Rojo should have went instead of, but Alexis Sanchez out because he just doesn't want to be there. Lukaku didn't want to be there, didn't work out. Midfield, okay, the Herrera situation is bad, but there's 5 or 6 things where I'm saying, Martial back at number 9. I trust in you there. Let's face it, the guy's got injured. He wants Martial to be his 9. We definitely know that.
We got there eventually because it was Rashford until he the penny.
Exactly. So that's another thing. Going Rashford, you're not. And as much as he keeps playing Rashford in the absence of Martial and won't drop him, and that's another issue.
But it's not even won't drop him. Just play him on the left and play Mason up front, bro. But you're still persisting with this Rashford up front thing. He's throwing in 1 out of 10s, bro.
Or like we said, there's an over dependence on Daniel James already, which is the boy should not be in.
And also,
in
Daniel
that position.
James is clearly a left winger.
Exactly.
And you bought another left winger.
So what? So
we still don't have a right winger. Do you see what I mean?
But then you're playing, and this is where I will touch. So to finish on my point, that's what I'm saying about the blame game. I'm not comfortable with laying it on Ollie and saying he should just lose his job for that.
You can't blame one man.
I criticise Ollie for some of the tactical things I've seen in the past few games, because like we said, from the beginning of the games, Chelsea, we were dead happy. Wow, we were like, fair play, Ollie. Like, you know what I mean? And Smalling and Jones and that weren't even in the squad.
That's just emotion, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying about the result. I'm just saying, I'm not saying the result. I'm saying, like, fair play. Then he did keep that same energy. Wolves, same thing.
Wolves game was poor. We should have won that game.
But he kept the same energy in terms of the players.
Yeah.
The third game,
Southampton, we should have battered them.
No. We lost against Palace.
There you go.
But it was still the same team. And then obviously it was Southampton.
Then Southampton has gone downhill, bro.
So it has gone, and then that's why I really start to question. And to be fair, it's still early in the season, so I want to see how he reacts to that.
It is still early in the season, but remember towards the end.
I'm not Ollie out for that.
Remember towards the end of last season, I told you, man's in serious relegation form. He's in sackable form.
I agree.
I think it was like 14 games, and man didn't pick up a win or something.
But I think you know what I think, Rants, though, and you might disagree, and if you do, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to look at it in terms of in-house. There's this analogy, like when I used to get in trouble at home, my mum, old school Caribbean kind of mentality. My mum used to go, "You're not allowed to go out here, or you need to be in at this time." Yeah, but mum, thing down the road are they my child?
Yeah.
I don't care about them. Yeah. So where we're saying like it's relegation form, I get that, but in the context of us, it will do us no good reacting off of looking too much outside. Only because there's a point where we have to start looking at the others because we want to catch them.
But I think we don't even need to look at them.
But right now, I feel like we need some form of stability.
We do, and
I don't think getting rid of Ollie is going to bring that.
That needs to come from upstairs.
Because
I'll be real,
That's what I'm saying.
If a real football man takes over Manchester United tomorrow, Ollie's out of a job, mate. So is Ed Woodward. So is everyone.
Because maybe sacking him is the right thing, but
I'm not saying
sacking him is only the right thing. If at the same time as that,
everything else comes.
You could change everything, and guess what? You can't.
For me, I'm giving Ollie the job, giving Ollie the job only made sense if that came along with a director of football and everything else that came with it.
Right.
Because let's be honest, my man scored a goal in '99, and that's what got him the job.
Do you know what? Just on that, I'm not gonna say it was. The guy behind me yesterday, he said, "Flex, listen, you know me, I don't go on camera and all that, mate." He goes, "Flex, if Ollie didn't stick out his leg in '99, do you think he'll be our manager?"
Man scored a tap in '99,
I wanted to say to him,
and he's got one of the biggest jobs in world football off that. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not minimising the goal.
No, because that is what's given him. That is why Ollie's a legend and plus more.
That don't mean you're the right man for the job based off that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna say?
What's like saying make Paul Scholes the manager? Because he's
scored in '99, like we can put it on your CV. You can't put it on your CV, blood, when you're doing your coaching badges. As far as I'm concerned, like when you look at it in the cold light of day, if you're a real footballing DOF or executive or something like that, all these CV gets shredded immediately.
Do you think then, let's say, let me paint this picture for you.
Yeah.
This first section's been long. If Ed Woodward got sacked tomorrow, so obviously Ollie's still there.
The Glazers wouldn't get rid of him. We would have to be taken over.
Let me paint this hypothetical thing, Just say it happened. And a director of football come in, someone in Ed Woodward's position came in. Do you think Ollie could function better if above him was sorted? Or you think no matter what systems...
He would definitely function better, but he's shown me enough tactically that shows me that he's not a top manager, and he never is going to be one, bruv, because he's 10 years deep in this thing, bruv. You got the manager at Leipzig, blood, like he's 32, 33 years old, and better manager than Ollie. Like,
so you don't have any faith that Ollie can turn into something good? Basically,
bro,
you don't think he's got a top
I think
manager?
if you're 10 years into coaching, and you still don't have an identity or philosophy that, like a certain brand of football that people can associate with you, then you're just going through the motions.
Do you think once he gets every single player, and I know it's tough because you still you need to see something a little bit before that, but do you think if he had more of the players that potentially he wants, because like you said, we don't really know. No. We don't know whether Ollie said to, because you know what? I started asking you a question, I've gone off, but it's because you said something earlier that, to be fair, we don't know if Ollie asked these man for all these players and he didn't get them, so then he's done the puppet thing of he has to protect it and say, oh, I'm happy with this squad, or whether he just is happy with it. We don't know. But do you think if he had more and gets a chance to get more, i.e. January, who knows, because it might go so bad, we might have something off our sleeve the way it's going. You never know. You wouldn't be surprised. But historically, we don't normally in January. So if he does get another summer, then maybe one more after that. I know that seems very long away. Isn't that where we judge him? Because we all said we need to judge Ollie truthfully after like 2-3 transfer windows.
I know exactly what you're saying, and
what I mean?
And I do agree.
How
But
can
a
we
lot of
judge him
these
on
men
this?
that said that were saying that off the back of the run that he had initially.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
what I
we
mean.
all was.
It's emotional.
Yeah,
it's
I
emotional.
agree, I agree.
And it's reactive. But now I'm looking at the results and I'm thinking, yo, how many of them wins were down to Paul Pogba's form, bruv, at the beginning? Probably all of them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, when you actually start to break it down and take emotion out of the situation, that's when you see things clearly, which is why I believe too many ex-players involved at the club is a negative thing. City don't have no legends, so it's easy for them to not have any. Do you know what I mean? And then you got Liverpool as well, bruv. Man have done the whole German thing and got an ex-man in. Jamie Carragher's not on the board. Do you know what I mean? Steven Gerrard's not on the board because, man, we don't
Thompson,
need that. You get rid of all of that emotion and you just do it, you run it like a proper machine. And the thing is, there's too much emotional stuff going on at the club right now. All these ex-players saying, I can help, but where's your credentials, bruv? You can't help.
Just at the back of this section, that is the one thing I am getting my head around in terms of, I can't lie, I have to be honest with what I was feeling and saying at the time. The whole getting people who know the club, understands what it is, I was fully behind that. As it's panning out.
We both said that's one thing we haven't tried.
Yeah,
so let's try it.
Yeah, so let's try it. As it's panning out with the people that we chose, it doesn't look like it's working at the moment.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I just, everybody is entitled to their opinion. For me, I just think it's way too early for this Ollie out stuff.
Fair enough.
And I don't even really want to, because people look at me as the presenter, and because I'm asking people questions, it's easy for people who don't look at the context or even watch the videos. They might look at a title or something and go, that Flex guy's pushing Ollie out. No, I'm fucking not. I ask people.
We're giving people a platform to voice their opinions.
There you go.
That's
If
all
somebody says to me that they're Ollie out, I ask them why. Why do you think that? My personal opinion is not that.
Yeah.
And you guys will know if or ever it is. But at this precise moment, I just see it as, because look, we could go and beat Arsenal. Like, we're so unpredictable and so are Arsenal, that God knows what's going to happen in that game. God knows. We could go and beat Arsenal and then we'll probably go and lose to flipping Newcastle away the week after. But guess what? I'm at peace with that, Rants. And I think this is where, like, I think I'm at peace with saying, remember we said it?
Yeah, at the start of the season, we're finishing sixth anyway.
This is going to happen. So that's why I'm like, well, what do you expect? But I get it. Don't just sit and like act like you don't care. I get it. But to say, just get rid of the manager, we're going to have to go through this. We're going to have to feel this pain. We're going to have to, bro.
Facts.
Oh, my God. That was the first section. Let us know, man, your thoughts on Ollie. I hate even saying, are you Ollie in, Ollie out? Because I don't want that to be the agenda, but I can only go off the fans that I spoke to yesterday.
Bro, it was trending on Twitter. Like, we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't address it. Bro.
So we're only bringing up what's out there. What are your feelings towards Ollie? Are you trusting in the process? Do you feel like you can see any progress? Was Rio right? Was Rio right in terms of what do you want to see a new manager every couple of years? Is he wrong? Let us know. All right, Rants. Man United spokesman. Everyone at the club, from owners down, is focused on competing for and winning trophies at the highest level. To do that, we have invested heavily in the playing squad and will continue to do so.
Lie.
At the same time, the exciting pool of talent coming through from our youth and academy sections is a result of increased investment in this area over the last 5 years. It's more important to note that while our successful commercial operation helps drive that investment, the priority is the focus on achieving success on the pitch. Similarly, it is worth noting that we are not looking at or buying players based on their commercial appeal. Last bit, we agree that recruitment is critical. We are committed to getting this right, and there has been a huge investment in this area to put our recruitment department into a position to be able to deliver the manager the players he wants. This process is significantly more effective than 4 or 5 years ago. What's your thoughts on that statement?
It's a load of bullshit, all of it, bruv. And that's what they do, trying to appease fans, and then they're brainwashing people, bruv. That's what they do, man. They're a very well-oiled propaganda machine. That's what Manchester United are, bruv. That's why MUTV are hanging up phone calls on people, bruv. They're just trying to filter through all these positive messages and that, and try and hide how people really feel, bruv. They're full of shit.
I mean, I'm just dissecting it.
You can break it down.
I'm looking at some form of truth. I'm trying to attach myself to this
Man said
statement.
that they've invested
to that we have
heavily in the
invested
squad.
heavily in the playing squad and will continue to do so.
The net spend has been 60 million or less, this year. And the year before it was like 70 million. You ain't invested shit, bruv. Do you know how much this club grosses? You should be in a net spend of about 200 million every year because you can. Do you see what I'm saying? We can outspend the likes of Real Madrid's and that, bro. We can. There's no reason why we can't buy
just choose
7,
not
8
to
players.
because the owners would rather line their own pockets.
Because them man are trying to give shareholders this and put shit in their own pockets, bro. So you ain't invested shit. Talking about the youth team and all these prospects, and that's a load of bollocks, bro. Like all these man like Mason and these man, like them man have been here. Mason's been there since he was a fucking sperm, bruv. You know the ones there. Like Mason was probably at the club before the Glazers. You know that. Who cares, bro? Like, stop your shit, man. Man's not trying to hear. None of this is down to you. Man, I've been bringing man through anyway. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Get the fuck out of here.
Similarly,
you ain't done shit.
It is worth. I mean, this could go back to the Dabala thing, though, Rants. Similarly, it's worth noting that we are not looking at or buying players based on their commercial appeal.
Yeah, but they have to say that. That's because they'll be reading what the rumours are saying. The Dabala
Which is
thing,
that they are trying to do
Yeah,
that.
the Dabala thing wasn't a commercial thing. It was a fact that he's a wavy baller and he was available, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Commercial things might be other types of players. And United have done it before when they signed like Dong and all that bruv, that the Chinese bread. That was definitely a commercial buy. You know what I mean? And it didn't work. So United been doing that under the Glazers, even under Ferguson. Do you see what I mean? So get the fuck out of here, man.
There's been a huge investment into this area to put our recruitment department into a position to be able to deliver the players that the manager wants.
What's the investment? Where's the director of football then? Clowns, bruv. How are you like
and I think Ollie wanted a striker
teams,
as well. He didn't get one.
Bruv, he's one of 5 teams or something in the top 2 leagues in the country that don't have a director of football. And you're Manchester United. You're a disgrace. I'm not trying to hear all of this. Do you see what I mean? The club putting out all this bullshit. And then fans are actually getting upset and losing their sleep, bro. Like, understand when people are like, oh, how do you stay so calm? Because the owners don't give a shit about the football club. So why am I going to lose sleep?
And I think, you know what else I think what it shows me is that usually clubs just keep quiet.
Yeah.
You know when they really trust in what they're doing.
This is what's
it's
doing
more
my
of
head.
a, you know, the one they're like, old school, yeah, man, I'm not really talk too much. You know?
Yeah.
Let's do my thing, you know. I'm not really, boy, I'm not really watch them, boy, them are just. But when you actually come out because you feel you have to, then I feel like even they're thinking, they don't trust us. We need
But that's
a
what it
reaction
is.
here.
Them man, and that's what you do when you got propaganda in it. They keep feeding stuff out through the media. They're doing it on MUTV. They're only taking positive calls because they want people to think that
Trying to
the
change the
atmosphere
narrative,
is positive.
innit?
Yeah, because they're just trying to get everyone to think, oh yeah, we're on board with this Ollie thing. Even the whole Rashford thing, giving him the number 10, yeah. They're trying to force this United youth agenda thing. Like they just keep trying to force it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why was he given that shirt? Like, based off what? And then a new deal, 200 bags and all that. Everyone's trying to force the McTominay Rashford agenda, like the youth thing, trying to force it. Every time we play, it's like, oh, United had 4 academy players, 5. So what, bruv? We're shit. Do you see what I'm saying? They keep trying to force certain agendas and that just to take away from all the negatives. There's not too many positives to take from what's going on right now. So when people are like, oh yeah, certain people are always negative, there's nothing positive to take right now.
And I think
the only positive I can see right now is Mason Greenwood is finally in the first team squad.
Yeah, and went out with an injury to Rashford as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got over his illness. He's
Hopefully
he's
Mason
gonna
can
need
get
it.
2 or 3 runs from the start.
I'll tell you what, because Martial... But then, you say that, I think if Martial's injured...
But if Martial comes back, yeah,
but if
and
Martial
he's playing
comes
up
back,
front and
he's
Mason's
going to play
playing on the right.
But Rants...
Bro, if Martial...
I haven't got a lot of faith right now.
Yeah.
If Martial's fit, I think he plays up front, and I think Jesse Lingard plays on the right.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
That's just what I feel could happen. But, you know, it's still early in the season. What did you guys think about the club statement? For me, just on my opinion...
Shit, blood. I'm going to print it out so I can wipe my ass with it, bro. Honestly.
Don't do that, man. You might cut yourself.
Honestly, you know, like that, bro.
You might cut yourself, bro.
It's
You
a
might have to do the
joke,
next show
man,
standing up, innit? Rants all standing up, man. Josh holding the camera manual, man. No tripod, because Rants got to stand up because he used to email paper after you printed out. Oh, this guy. Anyway, for me, it just smells a little bit of, boy, let's put something out there because it's getting a bit peak. For me, if you really trusted your process and it's working, oh, you know it's
Bro, it's a
imminently
joke
working.
thing, bro. The
You
club
just
don't know what they're doing. Like,
run.
even from like, if you notice, yeah, like Faria's left, yeah, and then the club have planted Carrick and McKenna there, bruv, with Jose. He probably didn't even want them there. You know, when you think about that. And now they're still there.
They would have been Jose's first.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been
guys.
Jose's first choice. As much as I don't like the idiot, yeah.
He would never pick up his phone
There's
and
no
go,
way he would have said,
let me
right.
ring Michael Carrick.
You see what I'm saying?
I just don't think Jose would ever have done that.
And then, like, they're still there. Like, how can Carrick and McKenna, what, they're challenging Ollie? You're not challenging Ollie, bruv. Carrick's been a coach for 2 seasons. He was playing the other day. Do you know what I mean?
Ollie keeps wanting to play centre-back for us.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like, who's challenging Ollie right now? Who's helping him?
Do you know what, yeah?
There's no experience, bruv. Like, the whole thing, the whole setup, like, it's just novice, bro. This is the biggest club in the world, yeah? So you keep saying, a man have got a bag of novices in the touchline.
Do you know what? There's one little thing that's out of context, yeah? But it makes me chuckle because it annoys me. One thing that does annoy me, which is a bit of off topic, see Ollie in the press conferences, yeah? You see when, like, the pressure's on him and they're going, well, no wins in rare, haven't won an away match since March.
It was close on that.
And yeah, well, that too. Yeah, that
You've lost
too.
a lot of close games.
When he says, when he's trying to search for the word of what to say, and he goes, how do you say? Oh, sorry, my Norwegian English is not quite. That just pisses me off.
Because you're lying, bro.
It does. I'm just like, bro. It just irritates me. I don't know why. It's just a bugbear. I'm just like, it feels like because the pressure's on. It's like,
it's because he
man can't even like. Normally, you speak in English, you're fine.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to really articulate why this is so shit.
No, but you know what it is? The happy to be here thing, yeah. That period's worn off now.
Yeah, now it feels like so long ago.
Now we need you to show some metal in it. I feel like giving Matic that armband really like that made me lose a lot of respect for man. You know. Even though it wasn't a big deal to a lot of people, for me it's like this guy's openly dissing you, and Ollie's on Twitter, bro. So he knows what I've won. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Ollie's on Twitter. Yes. Yeah, he's on Twitter, and Mick Phelan's on Twitter too.
I know McPhelan is.
But they're both on Twitter. He's on Twitter.
Okay.
Like man's disrespecting you, like barefaced disrespecting you.
I just don't want Ollie
because
to
when
Lukaku,
but that is why. But this is why.
And I feel like that could happen.
But Flex, this is why. Yeah, as a man, yeah. If I go in for that Manchester United job, I love the club, I'm a legend there already, all of these things, and the board tell me X, Y, Z, and then they don't deliver, I'm not taking them swords. I'm saying, fuck you lot, I'm gone, fam. I'd walk out, bruv. Look what Scholes done at Oldham. Man took the job. Bruv, he took the job.
That's different.
No. You know why it's not different? You know why it's not different?
That's Oldham, Rants.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
it's Oldham up there.
It's got nothing to do. If it was Manchester United,
Rants said no, it's not Oldham.
Even if it was Manchester United, Scholes would have still left. Do you know why? Because that's the kind of man he is.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Roy Keane would have left as well. He would have said, what, you man taking me for a dickhead? I'm gone.
Do me a favour.
Yeah, this is it, bro.
You want me to take over this
Keane
job
would have never said, listen, I'm not taking
You
the
got
flag.
these knobheads up there. You want me? You want me to take the flag for them? I'm not doing it.
Keane would have never sat there, yeah, in the press conferences where man are firing all these questions at man.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, but we're happy with the squad. Keane would have said, listen, I asked them dickheads for this, and this is what I got. So now, whatever happens, or furthermore, he would have just resigned.
That's
what would have happened.
Talk to Ed.
That's it.
That's what he do.
That's exactly what he would have done. So when Solskjaer's coming out and saying, yo, we're happy with the squad and all these things, bro, I would respect man more if he said, you know what, these men have put me in it. Like, I'm out of it.
There was one press conference where he did say he'd need to speak. Because I remember we did a video, I remember Mark done a video, and he was like, you know, fair play to Ollie because he's put it onto Woodward. I think it was while we was on tour. Because someone was saying,
but he said,
and he was like, you need to ask him.
Yeah.
And I think, but then the energy kind of faded. We just want to see him keep a consistent energy. That's what we're saying, innit? That's what we're saying.
I would respect him, man.
Because we've got to wrap this section up. But that's what we're saying.
If what you're saying could be a thing where Ollie didn't get what he asked for, then bro, you could have left. Because right now, the fans are turning on Ollie because Ollie's doing so much talking that makes it look like he's actually happy with the situation. So man are like, well, if you're happy with the situation, there's something wrong with you.
But then you have to put it into context in terms of, well, obviously he's not happy with losing. Obviously he's
no,
not
but I mean happy with like the squad that he's got, because you know what it is, yeah? If man does get sacked, where'd you go after that? Because you've been sacked from Cardiff, they got relegated there. You get sacked from the United job.
Go back to Mulder, innit?
Yeah, but that's
He was only supposed to come here temporarily.
Well, there you go. So, if that's the case, yeah, why risk tarnishing your legacy in the first place?
Because it goes back to where you go type of man, and I think Ollie is the type of man that, to him, he could never not take that opportunity, regardless if it ended. You got some men who were like, I would absolutely have to give it a try, even if, you know what I'm saying, it went to shit. Because there's some fans you could say, no, I wouldn't actually take the United job, mate. That's fucking hell. I support Man United. I love the club to bits. I've got Man United tattooed on my arm. But I'm not a football coach. Yeah. But there's other United fans who go,
I'll give it a go.
I'm sitting next to one.
Yeah. I'll definitely give it a go. But do you see the difference?
I'm sitting next to one who would give it a bash.
Why not? But the difference is, like, if the window's shut, I know that I'm not going to come out and say, you know what, I'm happy with my squad.
At least
you'll
be like, this is not...
I'm going to be like, listen,
Imagine Rants in the press
I'll be
conference.
like, look, there's a lot of players that I wanted, they're not here. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to do what I've got to do with what I've got, bruv. Like, be real with it. Don't be like...
say bruv in the press conference?
Maybe. You see what I'm saying? I got this far.
We should do a little role play.
I got this far.
We should.
Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna come out and say I'm happy and then say, oh, you'd never guess how many men been on the line and that want to come, and then at the end of the season they'd be like, yeah, well maybe they didn't want to come and that. Like, come on, man.
It's like a man saying, yo, come to my party, but I'm gonna have bare girls. There's gonna be bare girls, you know. My party's gonna be shut down. Make sure you come to the party, you know.
And then it's a sausage fest, blood, when you get there, bruv. Like,
do you know what I mean? You're like, well.
And only two girls there, your mum and your sister, like in the kitchen.
Even if it was gonna be a man thing, just FIFA and just chilling, like, why didn't you just tell me that? Why did you say it was gonna be a turn up with all these girls?
But this is it, bruv. And only promised us there's gonna be bare girl there, bruv. And I'm just seeing bare moustaches, fam.
Let us know what you think about the club statement and all what we spoke about so far in the show. All right, question time. Do you know what? Apologies for the people on Twitter, because I keep putting out the questions on Twitter, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not actually taking them from Twitter because I've done it on Instagram and it's so much easier. And I just get loads more questions. So apologies for that. I am just gonna do it.
We're gonna alternate between the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe one of us can do it. And then, So apologies for that, because I haven't gone on Twitter today, even though I did put it out. So the first question is, should we go all out for Europa League as we're nowhere near consistent enough to finish fourth? It's changed from the beginning of their start of the game last week when we were like, nah man, we've got to go for fourth. Then we got slapped by West Ham. It's like, that's Europa League then, mate.
We can't go all out for anything because we're not good enough. Do you see what I'm saying? I think we just have to play game by game, and then when we get to the knockout stages,
man said when.
Then we can, you know the ones there before man starts stitching me. You know what I'm saying? When man gets
too late,
slapped,
you already said it. All of this bit won't be in it.
The man goes Serbia and get clotheslined, you know? There. So, like, if we get to the knockout stages, then we can start thinking about progression. But right now, I don't think that we can have our eyes on anything other than the next I'm keeping it 100.
Okay. Can Man United win the league by 2025?
Next question, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna entertain that, fam. Like, I'm not gonna entertain that. Like, we're so far off winning anything, let alone the league.
After the first 6 games, has your perception changed for the season? Where will we finish?
Yeah, it could be worse. Like, I said that we would finish like 5th or 6th, but honestly, like, I'm gonna be real with the level that the players are playing at. If the injuries don't pick up,
that's a big.
Because right now, with the players that Oli has and Oli's like pedigree as a coach, blood,
he needs the maximum players that we have.
He needs the maximum, because without that, bro, we're looking like a 10th place finish, bro. Like, I'm gonna be 100%.
Well, let's not get twisted. If this form continues for any period of time, that's what will happen.
But that's what I'm saying.
But it have to continue for quite some time. But that's the form we're currently in.
Yeah.
That kind of 10th-ish.
Yeah.
We get a win every sort of 3 games maybe, but then a draw in between that, then the odd loss, then back to a draw.
Yeah, like we're the equivalent to like Watford, like right now. Like that's what we're playing at that level.
Yeah. But once if you do get Pogba, Martial and Shaw back, for the context of our team.
Not necessarily Shaw, but the other two. Like, we get them 2 back.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Then I hear that.
I should have asked that one. If Oli were to be sacked today, what would your reaction be? And who would you want to replace him?
Boy, I'd just be like, Oli, I hate it had to be you, bro. If that was that would be the reaction. Do you know what I'm saying?
My reaction, I'd be pissed if
because I really want it to work. I wouldn't be pissed.
I'll be pissed because what are we possibly going to do right now today?
Exactly, nothing.
We're going to be even worse off.
Of course we are, but I still wouldn't be pissed because if he did get sacked, yeah, I have to be honest with myself and say, you know what, he probably deserved it when you look at the numbers, bro. Because man have been sacked for less. So I'm gonna be totally unemotional about this. I wouldn't be pissed.
I'd be pissed because I think you
the way I
fucking
see
idiots.
it is, we're
what's the point in bringing him in?
bro.
You gave him one transfer window where half of that transfer window was spent having to get fucking idiots out of the club who don't want to be there. Almost the whole squad. We knew we needed like 11 players. He only managed to get 3.
I get all of that.
Like, give him a chance.
I get all of that, but I'm not gonna be one of them guys to come out and say, oh, he didn't deserve it, blood, if he did. Because really and truly, the numbers speak for themselves. Football's a results business. You see, in business, you just have to be ruthless in business.
I think though that it is a results business, but it's almost got too much as a result. Where there's no, you can't. It's so reactionary. Like just getting rid of managers just don't have time to do anything these days. And I know the stakes are high and they spend a lot of money.
Yeah, but neither do players. Do you know what I mean? If you sign a player,
they get more time than managers.
Boy,
ask Matic.
If you sign a player, yeah, and look at Mkhitaryan.
Ask Phil Jones.
Look at Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan's a prime example, yeah. My man was like, what, Bundesliga Player of the Year? We signed him. He didn't hit the ground running. He was gone, but by the next season, bro. Like, that's football.
Then gone from Arsenal.
But there you go. If you don't perform, you're out of here, bro. Like, that's the nature. That's the nature of the beast. Yeah, but that's because they were lucky that they had like the greatest manager in the history of the game. That was luck, bro. That's all it was. It was luck. In normal football clubs, yeah, at the top level, man don't have a manager for more than 3 seasons, bruv. Nowhere. Like, stop comparing Wenger and Sir Alec to your run-of-the-mill football
but now
clubs.
with
now we're a normal football club again because we don't have the greatest manager ever.
But Klopp and Thing are going to be there longer than that. Well, they already haven't, they? How long's Klopp's been at Liverpool?
This is his 3rd season.
So he's going to do. He ain't going to go at the end of this season.
Because he's successful. This is why. Because he's successful. If you're not successful, you don't have a divine right to be at any top club, whether you're a player or a manager.
What about Pochettino
I don't care.
Has he been successful at Spurs?
He has, because he's hit the ceiling. He's hit the ceiling for what Tottenham, bruv. Man, I have net spend of 0 and them thing there. Like, he's hit the ceiling for where he can get them. He should have left them. Poch should have left them.
So for him, it's like he's maybe outgrown their club.
Of course, bruv. Of course.
Right, okay.
Like,
this ain't the Tottenham Hotspur show, but
when he got to the Champions League final, he should have left on that high note because he can never replicate that again, not spending no money. He's peaked.
Okay. What formation would you like to see and which players would you like to see start when all fit? We can do this combined, actually. I would go with a 4-1 and then 2 in front.
Yeah, so 4-3-3, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd actually have I'd actually have 1 hold in there.
Yeah, so would I.
And so, right, so with what we've got, Bissaka, Lindelof, Axel? Who? Out of Lindelof and Axel, would you still go for Lindelof?
I'll play Axel, bruv.
Would you just go for it?
In the current climate, I'd just go for it, bruv. I'd go for Axel,
obviously Maguire.
Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and Dalot at left back.
Okay, obviously De Gea in net.
No.
Holding McTominay?
Yeah. Pogba, Fred.
Pogba, 2 attacking.
Martial at top, James on the left, Mason on the right. That's it. Like, comfortably. Like, I'd love to see that team get a run out. I don't think we need to be respecting teams and playing 2 holding midfielders, yeah, unless they're a top 6 club. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. Why do you think we beat Chelsea 4-0 and now that performance looked like it never happened? I'll tell you why. Because even the sensible United fans after that 4-0 were all saying it at the fan
Wasn't a 4-0 game, yeah.
It wasn't a 4-0 game. Yeah. It papered up loads of cracks.
But it was a 4-0 game because we were clinical, but it wasn't. Do you know what
I'm saying? Yeah. On the basis of the game, we knew that type of performance was not going to be able to be replicated too much.
Chelsea played us off the park for most of the game, but the difference was on the break, Chelsea allowed us space in behind, innit? And the bigger teams will give you that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they'll actually attack you.
And with our full strength team,
yeah,
you know, we can exploit that. We're going to have Pogba who can pick passes. We're going to have Martial who can bounce it, link the play, more clinical finishing. So there are 2 big players that are missing for us. Our 2 best. Yes. Really, if you want to get that deep. Yeah. In it, apart from De Gea, there are 2 best outfield players. Absolutely. People might disagree because the whole Martial thing, you're not convinced on him, but for me, there are 2 best outfield players. Last question. Is Rants still sticking to his say that Rashford and Martial will get 50 goals this season?
I didn't say they would. I said that I want them to. And I also said that they can get 25 between them in all competitions. Can and will are 2 different
50
things.
Between them.
Yeah, 25 each, I said. 25
so
each
do you
in all
think,
comps.
With how Rashford's performing,
Rashford ain't getting nowhere near that.
He's not
I think that
he ain't getting no 25 goals.
I think that Martial can.
Martial can.
Bruv, as much as I don't think Rashford is good, I still believe, in the right system with the right coach, he scores more goals.
Yeah, no,
bro.
that's true. I agree.
Do you
with
see
that.
what I'm trying to say? As much as I
that.
don't really rate him, but you don't have to be an amazing player. Sometimes the system can just enable you and it enhances your qualities that you do have. Do you know what I mean?
I predicted Martial. I didn't even say 25 though. I actually said, I have to get the tweet, but I think it was about 14 to 18. I said he could get max because I just wasn't confident of the whole 20 thing. But
yeah, no, I think that Martial.
I don't think we're creating enough
Martial
chances.
can get 20.
I don't think we're creating enough chances.
20 plus.
These men can finish in that, but I don't think we will put enough chances for them to get anywhere near those numbers.
And the chance creation also comes down to the system of play that you're in.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks for the questions. Very, very quickly, we've got Rochdale next. It's not the most glamorous of games.
It's not.
You can't use it as a bounce-back game after a bad performance against West Ham.
Man could get bounced. Rochdale.
But it forces Oli to play the complete separate team again. He said hopefully, I think even Pogba might get some minutes because he's just on his way back. I don't want to see him risked, only if he's 100% in terms of giving
20
him 15,
minutes at
20.
the end,
And the same with Martial, because we badly need those two back for Arsenal. We're going to be doing a lot of Arsenal previews during this week. We'll be doing some stuff with Troops, Robbie, and some others.
Bro, don't say we, blood. I ain't doing that. Bro, I ain't giving that pagan no shine, blood.
And we'll have a lot leading up to that game. So yeah, we need to. If we don't win that.
Yeah.
Let's wait till we get there anyway. Let's take care of Rochdale. Prediction for Rochdale?
1-0, bro.
I'm going to say that as well because like these are the teams where we should be winning 3 or 4-0, but I thought that against Astana and look why. So
there you go.
Aloni's going to ring in all the changes and they're going to be disjointed and not fluid, and Rochdale are going to sit back and we can't. And then I'm going to be nervous in like the 65th, 75th minute thinking, oh my God.
Bro, watch what man scored the 87th minute, we'll score, bro. 1-0 in that.
So, yeah. Socials.
Rants and Bants on Twitter and Instagram. Also on YouTube, guys. Make sure you sub.
Flex UTD across all the socials. I feel knackered. I feel like we just got everything kind of open. I feel like
that was painful.
It was painful, but it had to be done. We're not afraid to talk about the topics that is hot right now, man, and we're never going to shy away from it. Rio, if you catch it, you've seen the video already, get in contact, man, get in contact. See you like that, peace. A big thank you to you guys for watching our latest video. If you want to check out more, make sure you do so right here. Keep checking us out, the biggest Manchester United fan channel in the world, over 500k subscribers deep. Make sure you're following us across all the socials, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. All along here, you guys know what to do. And most importantly, make sure you're subscribed. Peace.